chocolate wings. Of the myriad voices within me, I shall honor with action that one which, speaking in whispers, resounds ceaselessly across the waters of mind to the shores of love-filled eternity. My concern is with the gentle, those few ripe souls whose simple work has within it the power to change the face of the world. Selfishness gives way to selflessness, and the quiet joy of service is seen as the greatest reward for a life of continual sacrifice. For them, no words are necessary, for the very essence of the teaching is already most deeply imbued within. For us, mere words, however inspired, can never be enough, for it is only through action that the principles of love are ever fully realized. A work such as this can only be aimed at truth, as with any man-made vehicle, hence chocolate wings. It is my sincere desire that from my work one may taste a little of the nectar which I enjoyed in producing it. For indeed, this work of trying is felt as most blissful, and the realization of emptiness as most full. Jai Guru Dev. Om Caverns. Om Caverns seem to be wet with green moss, shiny rock walls, echoing calls, Omkara excellence covering all with green moss wet. Long windy highways. Stiff dogs dance, pearls in their eyes. Negroes whistle and clap, long windy highways. Nightfall whispers tell of burning crosses, black-hooded masters, long, windy highways. And I, cross-eyed vagabond of fortunes, seek only dollars while rainbow-colored unicorns are tied in people's gardens. And they pound jeweled hooves into the ground and rear their heads in snorting fashion, while I, a-weary, lie my head on stone and dream of legs of mutton. Still the night wears on till darkness turns to day, and tractor-trailers split the quiet, long, windy highways. Early morning, North Hollywood exit. Early morning, silent kill works overtime. Something subtle creeps into my wardrobe while I sleep. In my dreams, I climb mountains just to get to you. Effusions. O thing of beauty, most beautiful, beauteous flower of realization, pearl of softness, light, breaking waters, deep pearl rising. Thy love, cool embracing rivers, none before thee leaving have left a silence deepening within. Master, thy heart's a season unto itself, and song soaring in places left, thy fragrance is everywhere. The tower. The tower is there, looming like a specter in the dull light. Around its base moss grows, full pattern, near a river. Old things happen there. Someone remembers something, another can't be sure. Windows, but no doors. Stairs, there are none. Does anyone but myself wonder who lives there? And in a moment, birds flash from every window. Was it built for them? Imagine living your whole life in the sky. A. Empty chairs. Angel hair. Hail ye the liquid prisoners, painted passion. Pent up in walls of glass, he, she moves edgeless, borderless. Water soul sunk with many others. Headless, footless traveler, 10 suns to every inch, never having moved, never having not. Blood-red remembrance, icy chamber, infusion of silence, so quicksilver, so still, so Bela Lugosi, 4 walls moving terror, so snowblind, so dead shallow waves, so light, hardly there. Deva. Rags she wore, but true to herself wore no jewel of the world. In unnamed colors fine she moves like wind over water. No words had she, but whispers, and who could hear her poise all knew. Every sun she held in her hands, and on her brow rode the beauty of the sky. Lived she but moments with us, moves in death she, leaving love sweet her only offering and boon, too poor for the world to hold, dry smoke and tears. Moments. Sweet breezes blow from heavenly shores, crisp, cold, and free, encumbered not with beginnings or endings, touching all. Shifting leaves, carrying age, gather together atop stone ruins briefly before their flight towards the sea. Broken shade, fire seed. Where I live, the trees are dead, alive, they'll fool you. Snow falls down around my gate. People walk, spirits wait. Inside homes, the blinds are drawn. Headlight suns from iron roads race at me, then fade, fade. I am lifted like some puppet on a string to hang upon the wall with my pictures pretty. I become an old balloon, tossed aside by some child restless. Myself escaping from myself, I find the sun has set on me. I am on fire! Gone, gone! I am on fire! Seed. B. One must be very quiet if he is to hear the heartbeat of the trees. Strips of ocean. Harrowing death. What else can we do, my love, but die? We are ripe, free to fly. Strips of ocean on my wall tell the tale so well. Young Paul, soldier of fortune, cut down by legless guile, faceless night. A winter so cold no snow fell, only rust and tears. Long icy roads south. Carry me. Strips of ocean sink, freeze, black and black, match spoon metal, dirty hairbrush. Street noise. Street niggers linger, dance, shake, come day animal, magnificent wild beasts. Quicksilver fingers fiddling dollars, dope and things. Riser dark ladies wait around like stones in the pocket of God. Moonshines, flash of gold teeth, sing box jingles, rear view dreamers all asleep. I've been the black man, short breath, dark hands, lifted, cracked, and separated sugar and pearls. What I want is who I am, and who I am is papered and thunder, shrill rambling beast on broken glass, city-sidal herald of wonder, keeper of tears from the last fallen angel. Catcalls from Anabomika. Skyfield flowers cling to vines, running out in time. Roots deep, sink deeper. Earth shakes. The master walks. The season. The season has its way, you know. Years flip forward and back. We sit like tea-sodden matrons couched in Victorian parlors, talking confetti and waiting for the exodus, or at least some new stories. Smiles pressed hard against cracked lips, we fidget politely and die silently with the utmost taste and dignity. Strangers to the season that has borne us, as the years flip forward and back. Lightbreaker. What a tender light dawn brings, falling gently through my window. She reaches for me, lover, consumes my shadow of night and uplifts me. Violet hues of morning, amber waves of love. I smile and roll like a cloud in my bed towards tomorrow. Temple bells. Temple bells sound throughout the night. The horizon is on fire. Only I am left to sing. The earth has fallen. There is no fear. Deeper that teeming ocean is still. Waves roll no more. The shores have melted. Night cuts into day. Thunder there is from the heart of every stone. Earth into sky folds like oil into wine. A sparrow flies and does not move, its wings singed in black, fluttering in contest with time. And it goes on still, in a small room carried by God to an island ruin. This bird he serves in fear that it may die, for if it does, time will overtake all with fury, rushing into God's hair like snakes of fire, until even he must surrender to the blackness, cover a void, therein to whisper only. No one left to hear. Millstone Whirlpool. I ride the streets, people milling around. Stop to look in through a window to find them all busily milling behind closed doors. On their TVs, important people mill around, like so many mindless pigeons on a slum roof. I fly home and eat a Pop-Tart. The sun, like a crimson Oreo, sinks hard into a lemon pudding sea. The me I believe myself to be remembers careless nights on that sea, slung black against the nothing waters as on elastic string. Too whole to be scared now, too scared to be whole. I roll in my bed and scar so easily in the summer night wind, a priceless nothing in an upstate basement. The kiss. That kiss, so divine in course that we shall never know the glory that you've won, nor the turf on which you go. Yet we can, through love, fulfill your great loneliness. With silent smiles and gentle caresses, we rest in you and you in us. Our individualized natures, your heart's delight, and our longing breath, your song. Circular creation, great lasting jest, mighty in its manner, absorbed into your fallen chest. Old master, tired servant of the poor, graying hair, folding skin, brittle limbs, yet more. Mahapurusha, our Lord, grave and silent master, we are yours. Grave and silent master, we are yours. Grave and silent master, we are yours. Untitled A. Dogs in her sighs in the afternoon madness. Dreams left behind, burned and buried at the crossroads. Smoky gray columns of fiery self rise ever higher, thinning, blowing, finally falling, ashen crust glowing. Ember of time, long forgotten. Shakti. Who is she who insults my dreams with the interjection of reality? Who is she who lifts her legs like some ancient squatting beast, given air in the seductively flowing fields of time, with both feet firmly implanted in the mire of too much sensitivity? Who is she who lays out the soul-sucking energy to hurl me beyond all forms and into the omnipresent fire of love? Mahashakti Ki Jai, your divine love has taken root in my spiritual heart, in silent affirmation of that sublime space which finds its foundation in eternal nothingness. We are united forever in the essence of our breath's inner breath. C. Leave the dead their flowers in stained glass. They've little enough. Some more. Gold-plated icebergs, you Feel before you see. Swallows in the quarry squabble over grains, whilst the river flowing on content to be. And is there any porridge left? And have you seen the sea? There's a legion of lemmings running, and they've left their boots with me. How lucky is the Pierrot cat, he sups his in a tree. And when the rains come laughing down, he pirouettes with me. But there's always so much more to do, and even rougher seas, with raisins and prune needles, storm-sided though, you're halfway, even so. Blackstone Fury. All is Blackstone Fury, shimmering hues of polished nothingness. A small bird finds the end of the sky, mirrors. She flies into herself. Beneath, the child, early sprouted greenery holds her tightly down. Fire pole eyes sear all passerbys. She is eaten into a cancerous core. This child is molten liquid. This child's body is stale gingerbread. This child is momentum come to ground. This child has danced with the fury. Godfire. No problems in Godland, just flow. Desires fulfilled, spirits whole. Suns sink in fire set, each one's secrets told. Time-ripened ancients live, unaffected, except by love, sweet love. Even here in Silly Town, constant change, spiritual up-down. Love's lady sings her songs. Nature's garments set aground. Timeless 9 to 5 turnaround. Smile, wait, then escape. Reality, love shine, rain down. Sunrag 1. Life is cut flowers, finding poise even as the hours slip away. Yea, as we drift, storm-ridden pilgrims lost upon the sea, mental icebergs insistent crowd our way. Yet a single gull flies, unconcerned, aloof, towards the sun. Good night, 3 a.m. Dead ringer for a lifetime, figuring odds, swatting flies, rose petals strewn on a sidewalk, an obvious quest garlanded with great passion, milky reactions in time. Sinking to rise in the nettles of a mine. Eyes of the wind blinking, moods of the sea sinking, pictures of me drinking death. Hold on, me, sour prayers stuck to a ceiling occasionally fall. Just little bits and pieces of us all. Who sings still now after all these years? Who hasn't yet gone the way of themselves and fat sit between a Jill and a barking cat? Nail me apart, cooler inside. Good night. Good night. Exodus. Carry me through, Purusha. Carry me through. Shadows fall from lanterns. Voices cling to walls. Faces, weathered and sour, pulp to my mind's eye. Act as if nothing has happened. Carry me through. Aye, the days, much too settled in their rhythms, look sinister to me now. Cats appear on banisters. Old men in cupboards. Sick children in corners. Carry we home, Purusha. Grave master. Sphinx number 4. A lyric. Tea rings in the after for a fallen Friday night. Gentle, sweet laughter loosens up the tight. And our crusty, sullen emptiness stretches far beyond, as we gaze with sad reflections front to back the mirrored room. Outside the springtide breezes blow, as wont the willows curve and sway. An old dead man scrapes by the walk, and bowing low, he spins away. God face all the party now, with nothing left to say, except for the falconer's widow, who wonders how to spend the day. And I, perched high atop the Sphinx's wing, stretch myself to smile. Velvet liquors touch my lips to ease on the many untrodden miles. Yet I still go where I will go. Opus nil. Soul sinks. Fine. Fire. Cut glass levels. Sight lines fade. And fading, finer, full strokes of an empty brush. Terry's song. Child of the forest, raised among the flowers, winter wind sings father, summer sun plays mother. Pine field cool in tree town, no play willow moans aloud, elm queen changes leaf gowned, tiny seedling playground. Upturned grey rocks reveal evolution's sluggy slowdown. Feed one fine meal, nature's child relishes the fat ones. Birds sing in the early morn, reminds us all to gather round the shining river washdown for devotions to the mountain pike. Hail, oh hail, ye swift-finned aqua monarch! Minimal equinox. Sphinx for summer. Rainbow weather. Will I never fly with the hummingbird? Fly! Cavern and glade have I known, allied with locust and dog long. Nay, all but deserted me has my master gone. Silvery wings flutter by in dream, yet never settle near. Lost am I, alone, Sphinx in winter, fear. Cronus, short time. You knew my grace, mother. You took my place. You shine at night. 11 holy nephews, ermine, pearls. Every advantage had you, every token given, but nothing, not a damn thing received. You ride the heat wave, while I suffer you gone. I live the still life, buried in the garden. Taken alive, no surrender. You burn colors of aqua and dusty pink on the walls of the depot, while I scour old mansions for newspaper and vegetable cans. I get myself scared. I wait by the riverbanks, muddy, dirty, fly places. I imagine it's nice there. I tear the wings off dragonflies and watch their fluorescent beauty electrically fade into short time. I string all the soft things I can find into beads for you. I cast your image upon the water. It smokes and fades. I toss the beads just over you. I walk away, redeemed. God alone is. The uncaused cause moves silently and ceaselessly within himself, his thoughts amplified to deafening clarity by the sharp edges of his being. Eternally existing, one without a second, undivided. His mind a bottomless, borderless, unfathomable ocean, the exact depths of which are a mystery even to himself. Time sits before him like a small bird pecking at grains on a windowsill. As he sleeps, the cosmic manifestation emanates from the pores of his skin. Innumerable universes, galaxies, stars, solar systems, and other unnamed creations spill out like bubbles in a foamy sea. As he breathes out, they are given life, are sustained and grow. When he inhales, everything is once again reabsorbed into his vast body, dissipating like smoke until his next breath. Our tiny world then is born, lives, and dies, all within one effortless breath of God. That is the kind of time which eternity encompasses. It is a regiment you have also experienced for untold ages as an intimate, indispensable component part of it all. As God travels infinitely, you are there, a tiny shadow in his thoughts, a glancing light in his eyes, a flickering movement in his heaving consciousness. Still, although you are very small, you are completely perfect and whole. A qualitative spiritual spark, completely equal in essence to the great fire of divine self that is he. Indeed, the Vedic scriptures state that the individualized soul is 1/10,000th the size the tip of a hair. It is the presence of the soul alone that animates the body, which is otherwise merely a combination of material elements and is therefore essentially lifeless. This idea is also confirmed in the 5,000-year-old Vedic scripture, the Sri Ishupanishad, in its invocation. Om Purnam Adaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishate. The Godhead is perfect and complete, and because he is completely perfect, all emanations from him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. Whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete in itself. Because he is the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from him, he remains the complete balance. But why then this cosmic game? What is he doing out there, and where do we fit in? The world, atoms, limitless space, thought, time, what does it all mean? Not necessarily in Stephen Hawking's scientific mathematical terms, but rather practically. What is going on? Think of it like this. There is God, quite alone, swimming incessantly within himself. Up from somewhere deep inside floats a small bubble of self-inquiry. Who am I? The same kind of questions we ask ourselves, but rather more monumental given the architecture. Everywhere he looks, he sees only various aspects of himself. From all four corners, he stares thoughtfully towards the center of his omniscient being. Such is the great, unabided loneliness of God. Granted, the Hindus say that he, and therefore we, are made up not of atoms, but rather Sat, Chit, and Ananda, or eternity, knowledge, and bliss, ever increasing. Still, that doesn't really give him anything much to do. In the Vedas, there is a story about God as Sri Krishna meditating on himself as a young man being trained by his guru. I mean, who else could it be? For God, the only reasonable thing to do is begin a very intensive, all-out search of his own unlimited consciousness, exploring himself for Leela or divine play. As a vehicle for this investigation, he chooses to split himself up into everything that is. Pick whatever metaphor you like, biblical, Vedic, Buddhist, Big Bang. They all play equally well within the darkened theater of God. The problem is that a simple division of himself without the higher attributes of his own internal mechanisms is rather clockwork and pedestrian, to say the least. All you'd have is a puppet world of DNA-obedient beings shuffling along completely clueless as to their divine origins. It was therefore necessary to instill within the creation the cent-per-cent perfection of the divine absolute in varying quantities. That done, unfortunately all Bhagavan had now was a human ant farm of God-realized automans running around, acting out their spiritual passions in a Play-Doh set spinning through deep space. What was needed was real drama, a way for God to usefully live through his creation in a meaningful, uncertain, maybe even slightly dangerous way. But how? He'd gained little satisfaction by simply spitting out little wind-ups of himself careening through time and space. Even with the added element of godliness thrown in, there really wasn't much adventure or romance. A legion of perfect mini-gods roaming the universe was almost about as static as the couch potato race of inbreds he first conceptualized. The answer, interestingly, was to seamlessly combine the two by virtue of an almost microscopic free will, covered tentatively with a creamy caramel center of petrifying illusion, forgetfulness of self, and a stubborn I-me-mine ego. Now things were on a much more even keel. Who knew when these divine slobs would ever get it into their thick heads to turn inwards and seek to uncover their own divinity? So what we have now is God making himself forget that he is God. Let him trek through 1,000,000 iffy lifetimes on his own steam. If he comes up empty, he can try again until he finally gets it right. Slowly, as he assimilates experience, marching through the evolutionary chain from mineral to vegetable, insect, bird, and beast, and then finally man, he gradually begins to figure it all out. Now it's a real game, or at least a fairly decent indulgence, something our Lord can really sink his teeth into. There was, after all, one more key element to this equation, the introduction of the witness. Who bothers to make so ambitious a movie if there is no one there to see it? Here's how it goes. God decides to personally go along for the ride, so he hollows out a bit more space inside the car-like chakra in which the individual soul sits and makes himself at home. Vedantists call these two cosmic flatmates soul and supersoul, or Atma and Paramatma. The thing is, the poor Atma doesn't perceive Paramatma, so when he finally develops or suffers to the point that he's interested in discovering himself or finding God, he runs around looking in every conceivable place except deep inside. The great irony, of course, is that the entire time the divine beloved is right there staring you in the face, waiting silently for you to simply open your eyes and see him. As the silent Parsi master Meher Baba once intoned, God is closer to you than your very breath. This is literal fact. He possesses 4 beautiful long arms, a charming, beautiful neck, a handsome forehead, a pure smile, and glowing, shark-shaped earrings suspended from his ears. He is the color of a dark rain cloud and is garbed in golden yellowish silk. His chest is the abode of Srivatsa and the goddess of fortune, and he is decorated with a conch shell, disc, club, lotus, and garland of forest flowers. His 2 brilliant lotus feet are decorated with ankle bells. He is wearing the Kustaba gem and an effulgent crown. His waist is beautified by a golden belt, and his arms are decorated with valuable bracelets. All of the Supersoul's beautiful features, especially his merciful glances, captivate the heart. Withdrawing the senses from sense objects, one should be grave, self-controlled, and should use one's intelligence to firmly fix the mind upon all the limbs of the Supersoul's transcendental form.
Radhe 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 Bolo, Radhe Govinda Bolo. Radhe 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 Bolo, Radhe Govinda Radhe 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 Bolo, Radhe Govinda Bolo. Radhe 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 Bolo, Radhe Govinda Bolo. Radhe 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 Bolo, Radhe Govinda Bolo. Radhe 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 Bolo, Radhe Govinda Bolo.
Oh, deep blue Lord of my heart, show me your unmasked face, shining like 1,000 suns in an empty sky. Oh, ragged soul, unleash me from the body, free me from mind, release me from the iron grip of the senses, banish me forever from this weary world. Dear Redeemer, I bow to you by the reedy river, see you in the trees, gather you in the harvest, breathe you in the morning breeze. Soul shaker, shake loose my pride, turn me upside down, drown me in your foaming tide. Lord Shri Krishna, smiling cowherd of Vrindavan, allow me entrance into your abode, but only as a speck of dust along your road, or a feather fallen from your proud peacocks, a drop of water in your ocean. Nothing grand may I be, but grand enough to live with thee.
Radhe 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 Bolo, Radhe Govinda Bolo. Radhe 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 Bolo, Radhe Govinda Bolo. Radhe
Geoffrey Giuliano is the author of some 30 internationally best-selling books on the Beatles, John Lennon, and other iconic musicians of the 1960s. In 2006, his book, Paint It Black, The Murder of Brian Jones, was made into a film by Stephen Woolley and Nick Powell entitled Stoned, The Wild and Wicked World of Brian Jones. It remains a cult classic and the only film bio of the Rolling Stones. Giuliano is also a veteran journalist, having written for dozens of high-profile newspapers and magazines, including The Sunday People, The Daily Mail, The News of the World, The Mail on Sunday, Playgirl, and Rolling Stone. A noted film actor, Giuliano starred in such movies as Vikingdom, Scorpion King 3, Jules Verne's The Mysterious Island, The Fifth Execution, Far Cry 3, Fire Desire, among many. In addition, he hosted the long-running North American syndicated radio series, Geoffrey Giuliano's Roots of Rock, for 5 years, as well as pioneering the audiobook industry in the 1990s by authoring, narrating, and producing over 250 original, non-book-based, interview-driven productions. Giuliano's publishers included Random House, HarperCollins, Delta Entertainment, Durkin Hayes, Playaway Audio, Speechworks, and B&B Audio, among dozens more internationally. In 1998, Random House acquired his firm Tribute Audio, for which Giuliano acted as CEO and publisher for 5 years. His best-selling audiobook, That Fateful Night, True Stories of Titanic Survivors in Their Own Words, was nominated for a Grammy. In 2014, Geoffrey Giuliano founded Icon Editions and G2 Media Arts to market his updated works as well as publish new projects. As a visual artist, Geoffrey has been showing in galleries across America since 1977, garnering impressive reviews. His first professional assignment was designing several T-shirts for The Who's Pete Townsend in 1976. Geoffrey also designed and illustrated many of his original rock biographies for the biggest publishers in the world from 1984 to 2006, as well as designing for his pioneering record label, Samba Records, in the mid-1990s. From 2006 to 2011, Geoffrey was also the primary designer for the French fashion house Cotai. When Giuliano first conceived of creating his own literary imprint, Icon Editions, he became responsible for illustrating and designing 35 book covers, several hundred CDs, DVDs, as well as dozens of promotional posters, and eventually an entire collection of exclusive fashion and art. The expansive Design by Giuliano brand grew out of Geoffrey's impressive commitment to the arts and is the culmination of a lifetime's work by an extraordinarily talented and determined Renaissance man.